Good evening. It's just my face tonight. Bear me 1 second, guys. No, not evening chaps. Just, just me. Just me. At the moment. Good evening, Jack, Peter, Dave, Felpire, Brewer. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you in chat before, so if you are new, welcome, welcome. Bear with me a minute, guys. I'm just setting up a couple of things on my other screen because I accidentally closed everything I had open. Hello, Gavin and Daryl. Good to have you all here tonight. I hope you can hear me absolutely fine. Azrael as well. Evening. Oh, quite a couple of new faces tonight. That's good. Right. Okay. You can't hear me? Can you genuinely not hear me? No, I can hear myself. I just checked. Damn it, Jack! Anyone who has just joined us this evening for the first time or hasn't joined our Discord, here is a link to it. So please feel free to join there and jump in on chat. Yes, John, I am feeling a lot better. You can probably hear I've got a slight bit of a cold and back of my throat, but nothing too serious at the moment. I was just had a bit of a raw sore throat last week on Tuesday. Got much better towards the end of the week, so feeling a lot better. Now, obviously, as you can see at the moment, I am on my own because I believe Dom has, one of his daughters isn't feeling too well, so he is not able to join us at the moment. He did say he'd message me if he did manage to sort of pop up and say hello. I don't know if he might be in chat. Never know these things. So just me for the moment. I don't know how long I'll go on tonight. I'll see how my voice holds out. I've been doing quite a lot of talking at work today as well. So, but yeah, but it's good to see you all, and thank you for joining me tonight for the sit and talk. Anyway, so before I get cracking, we have some stuff of what I'm doing tonight. So I'm working on trucks still. I've actually almost finished one. This one over here is the almost finished article, which is starting to look a bit kind of like I'm happy with it. They have a lot of detail on them really for such a simple vehicle in its entirety. So this one's almost getting there now. I wish I'd painted the crew before I put them in the vehicle, but can't have everything. So this is the other one I'm working on at the moment, which is getting near to the point where I'm kind of going to go, yeah, that'll do for an orc truck. And then finally, I have this battle wagon, which I've just started doing a few bits on in the background, in between the trucks. But then I kind of thought I'd finish the trucks off fully um, before I moved on to that in its entirety. Oh yes, the Christmas orcs. Well, red and green. It's all good. It's nice. Yes, I like my orcs, and they have desert base as well. Because I thought I could make them maybe on little summer holidays or something. So, everyone, what is everyone up to? What is everyone else doing tonight? Anything interesting going on? Be interesting to hear. And also, I have been following a little bit of your progresses for everyone in the painting challenge that Dom issued last week. So I've been just checking in there because I wasn't actually aware that happened because I went to sleep that evening a bit early before the stream ended, so I didn't see all of the bits and pieces. So we've got the weird boy for the competition. Fantastic, Jack. Edge Hunters and Doomstalker legs. Come on, Felpire, you can finish this Doomstalker. It's about time you finished it. Lord Discordant from Daryl. A Phobos Librarian and some Wolf Guard. Nice, Dave. The over detailed Master of Possession. Nice. And this is still working as Playbreaks. Lovely. They're starting to. Obviously, I've seen a few of your pictures. They're starting to come along very nicely. A one squig open truck crumple. He's laughing all the way. Yes, yes. Well, I've decided that for Christmas I will be hopefully expanding my Orc army a little bit because I want to get into playing them a bit more. But I do need to expand what I have because uh, I've got a good base, but they need a bit more. Oh, we've got some Black Templar backpack shoulder pads and doing some more bases. Excellent as a fail. Good. It's nice to see some Templar brethren. Actually, I should have a. Where's my nice? Yeah, there we go. Templars, yes. Um, so yeah, and I think Vicky's in the other room working on her cultists as well. Actually, I think so. Going really. So everyone's got a nice, good selection of stuff to be getting on with, which is good. Yeah. So other than that, I've just been recovering a little bit, and trying to get onto this. So, how's everyone finding the painting competition so far? Those who are, I suppose, competing in it. It's not really like we got. I don't think we've got a prize. Unless Dom's going to promise another 20 quid for everyone who enters it or something. I've got to be careful with his offers because it might bankrupt me for all I know. Ooh, I've just done a known oil special. Yay! The cap wasn't quite on when I shook it. That was not good. Bear me one moment. That could have been a lot worse, to be fair. The cap was only slightly not on, not fully not on, and then went everywhere. Not quite sure why it's not closing actually, but never mind. What's everyone's worst painting pot mistakes? Get a call from Ofcom soon. I still remember the time when I was painting. I was just starting on a crop of red scorpions, which I base with a kind of an off grey. I think it's standard mechanical grey from Games Workshop, and I've picked up the wrong paint can after going through the whole process of very carefully undercoating them and spraying them with yellow. Um, that was quite bad, so I had to restart the whole process again. That was one of my worst ones. Lucky I haven't done anything to the point where I've gone while I was painting something and actually ruined it completely, because that would have upset me a lot. That's this lid going on now. No, this has got one of those wonderful Games Workshop lids that just will not actually close properly. There we go. Aggrets on the cat. Oh dear. Painted something completely the wrong colour. Something to colour. Oh well. I mean, Daryl, that's not your fault, I suppose. Either a full new pot of Black Templar spilt all the time I knocked off my airbrush cleaning pot. Ooh, yeah, that's probably depending on how old the stuff and that was. That could have been quite nasty. Also, yeah, obviously, in the world of Warhammer 40k news, I think the other day they announced some Christmas box sets, the old full battle forces. Anyone planning on getting any of them? Um, I was kind of hoping to do an Orc one, but alas, that is not to be apparently. But the Chaos one looks quite tempting for me. I don't know how that would actually expand out my force of Night Lords, but I could definitely put them to some good use, or maybe even for my Nurgle. I don't know, I could do some conversions. I haven't done that for a while. But really, I would like a Death Guard one, really, if I was going to do that. Starting Tower Nids. Yeah, Tower one looked pretty good. Nid one looks pretty sweet as well. I think, to be honest, most of them are pretty good starts, except, ironically, for the first time, the Marine one, which I think is probably the worst one out there. Gavin also tempted by the Nids one. Yeah, me and Vicky were having a look at the the Space Marine one, I actually realised that actually that most of the units now we wouldn't really want to use. So I'm not really a big fan of the Reavers or the other infiltrators. I think, isn't it? Oh, you reckon the Guard one's the worst, Lee? Fair enough. I mean, for me, I quite like the Guard one, but that's because I suppose it suits the way I wanted to do mine, which is a bit more inventory based. And I haven't got a Hydra. Um, got to get with the Necron one, doubles all the vehicles. Yeah, Necron one's pretty good as well. So I suppose Daryl might get the Blood Angel one, if that was one I thought that they had. That one looked actually better than the other sets. Oh, you didn't? No, you didn't like that one. No, fair enough. I thought it wasn't a bad set, but maybe it's not that good for Blood Angels. Yeah, there we go. So I thought if I was had to pick them, I'd actually rather buy that as a singular thing rather than buying the actual main Space Marine one. So I thought I could expand most of my armies with what they had in the box. So intercessors, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's quite surprising they didn't put that in there. At least you get an impulsor though. That's not bad. I suppose at the end of the day, though, it does depend on the cost of them. Um, so I think again, it just depends on what their price point is. It will depend on whether I actually get one of them anyway. It has to be a pretty good price point from my opinion. So um, we shall see. Plenty of time, but not plenty of money. No, this time of year. Although, must confess, I don't know how many presents are going to be going out the door this year, so we'll have to see if I've been left alone with a bit of money. Although I've got Vicky's birthday coming up as well, so I've got to decide something for that. She's watching at the moment, so I better not say any ideas yet. Don't want to either get her hopes up. Just had a chuckle in the other room. But we shall see. We shall see. Um, yeah. But unfortunately, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of wanting. I'm going to obviously pick up the Death Guard Codex when it comes out as well, so I'm looking forward to that. But ultimately, kind of wanting to. I've kind of settled on expanding the Orcs out a little bit next. That's kind of what I'm working on mainly. So I have to wait and see if anything does turn up from their collection. I'm hoping it does. Obviously, you never know. There might be an Orc Timber. No, I suspect probably not. That's just been going on. So the other thing I've been getting ready for because I've been meaning to record. Yeah, the Chaos Box does look good. The other thing I've been kind of trying to get ready to is do some games on for the channel because it's been a little while since we've actually released a battle report, which is mainly my fault because I'm supposed to have recorded a few games, but having been a bit ill and under the weather, I haven't really felt like getting the camera out and actually doing a full battle report. But that's hopefully on Wednesday going to change because I'm doing a mini narrative campaign with Vicky because I don't know if anyone knows, but knew, but Dom's lent us the World Eater army. He's got quite a large portion of it anyway, so we've got quite a nice selection of models to try out. So I can tell you right now that you're going to see obviously some World Eaters versus probably some Sisters of Battle, maybe some Guard and some hopefully some Black Templars in a little narrative thing I've been trying to put together, which I'm actually using. I've actually got the books here actually. Um, I've decided to actually go through this Beyond the Veil book, which was the mission pack for Crusade in the Necron kind of arena of war. I actually had some pretty nice little missions in there. So I don't know if you can see some mad little deployments here. Look at this. That's a deployment map for one of them. So we're going to go from some 500-point games all the way up to between 2 and 3,000, hopefully. That was the idea anyway. So hopefully you'll see the first of them on Saturday. I may put two up because it's only going to be a 500-point game anyway, and we'll see if that comes out. If anyone's got any ideas of submissions, I'm all ears as well. So try and put some information there. World Eaters. That's strat for the Terminators. Yep. Although there is no Terminators, I don't think. Don put any Terminators in his little gift box. A lot of berserkers though. A lot of berserkers. There's I mean, this always gets me thinking about how I would like to build certain armies though. Because I used to play World Eaters a long time ago, and I always the way Vicky's building her army is one of the ways I would do it, which is I love Berserkers. I think they're such a cool unit, so I'm looking forward to actually playing against them for a bit of a. Lord of Skulls is there as well, yeah, and the old triple, not Death Dread. That is me orc head talking. No, yes, Defilers. That's the one I'm looking for. But yeah, interesting. So basically, one of the questions I had was actually if you guys could actually start any army and you didn't really have a budget on it, what would be your army you'd pick, and how would you build it to kind of really get what you want? Okay, if that's been confirmed, we might do that. I think that might be fair. Um, so Captain, yeah, Captain Jack, yeah, I think that might. If I'm totally honest, yeah, we probably will play it with 2 wounds. I honestly think it's highly unfair with the weapon upgrades that were done not to do it, because obviously some of the weapons like heavy bolters and things like that went up to 2 damage, so that would be a little bit unfair if I had that. Hello, Ezo, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Just saying, if anyone who has just joined us, obviously Dom is not here tonight because he could not make it this evening. I hope he's here in spirit. Um, I don't know if he's watching or not, but if he is, I'm sure he'll drop a quick note in chat at some point. So there won't be any lottery reading sites. Unfortunately, I don't play the Tuesday night lottery. Sorry, Dave. I can't give you some numbers that would mean nothing to you unless you knew what the numbers were. But yeah, so if you guys had like a kind of unlimited budget to start an army, how would you what would you actually go out and buy as one big load and actually fit to make your kind of dream-esque army maybe? I don't know. I've been trying to think about that myself, and I think obviously I play. Yeah, probably for me it would be my Templars, and if I was to start them again, how I build them from the ground up it's always quite an interesting question to answer. And I think I decided that basically I would essentially probably just stick to mainly Primaris units at the moment. But the only problem is I really want an Emperor's Champion in Primaris armor. I think it would look really cool. I know I can obviously convert one, but it would actually nice to see some rules for it. Um, Titans. Well, I mean, yeah, an orc tank army. Yes. Is that Grot tanks or orc tanks? And Daryl would redo his Eldar. Gavin with his Death Core. Oh, Death Cores of Krieg. Yeah, that's another big tempting one as well. Patches is the Raven Guard jump packs and drop pods. Okay. Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. Because obviously a lot of people when they're playing 40k and they haven't really, if you're buying units as and when you can kind of get them or afford them, whatever, you don't tend to sort of necessarily go out and get everything you necessarily want 100%. You kind of get stuff sometimes that you can afford or that fits your current budget that month. Obviously some of us might save for a month. I don't know. I find that difficult sometimes if I want to get something particular. But yeah, we're looking at so we've got Titans, Orc Tank Army, a redo of the Eldar. As it turned out, I quite like your Eldar, but Missile would go with Eandon Craftworld Eldar. Ah, okay, interesting. See, I still remember when I tried Eldar once. I did not get on with them. I think it's really not my playstyle at all. Um, I think that's one of the armies I probably wouldn't ever collect again. I gave it a go for about 3 months, and it really wasn't my cup of tea. It's the same probably with Dark Eldar. They just need a new lease of life. Well, I still remember 7th edition, Daryl. I'm sorry. Wraith Knights in 7th edition. Lots of dreads for the walls. Okay, Dave, nice. Yeah, it's also interesting to see if people would change their current armies that they have a little bit if they knew. Yeah, because one of those things everyone does. Sorry, Daryl. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you could say the same about Tau as well, but go old school with an Orc Speed Freak army, or replace my Rogue Trade era Harlequin army with the new models. Okay, yeah, cool, yeah. I played with what GW gave me. Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that, Azrael, actually, because you know I've got. You see, I mean, basically, one of the things I always regretted was getting rid of my old Sister Battle army. I had quite a large one, and I kind of I got to the point where I was like, oh, they're never going to get new rules, so I'm just going to get rid of it all. So I got rid of basically all of it. Um, on the cheap as well, I might add. I kind of pretty much gave it all away. Um, and if I tell you honest, I did regret it. However, I went out and bought some of the old models a little while just before the other release came out, and I painted up some stuff which I was quite happy with. And then the new models came out, and I was actually like, I would have sold them anyway because I just you can't stand those models next to the current Sisters of Battle range and be kind of like, yeah, they still look all right. I just I don't see it. I think you definitely go with the new models. They look so much better. Even Dom, who's doing some of his at the moment, yeah, his look fantastic as well for his Valve, the sisterhood he's made up for him. I think it was the Varthorns. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm trying to think if he changed the name of them. So what else we've got? Guard army with an infantry regiment of 2 battalions, a tank battalion, artillery regiment, and a spec ops battalion. Well, that's the one thing nice about Guard though. You can really kind of push them out and make them all look. You get lots of different regiments in them as well, and you can really just quite an expansive army from that point of view. And Dave would have a full-on White Scar bike army. That would be pretty cool as well. Yeah, that would be good fun. And yes, old models are yeah okay. From the point of view, I mean they're not the worst models. Yeah, I think they held up reasonably well, but it's one of those things that once you see the new ones, you kind of go, oh, it's very difficult to sort of mix. I think I would have trouble having the old models and the new armies in a singular army, um, personally, uh, because I just think the increase in quality on the new ones is head and tails above the old ones, and the size. I think yeah, the size difference really just clinches it for me. Oh, Kamikaze Flyer Army. I must admit, I do want to get some more planes from Orcs at some point. That'd be quite fun. Get a few more bombers. I do. It's just a guard tank army and all Scion army would be awesome. Or a Raven Guard with Thunderhawks and Stormbirds. Yeah, old one for a display case, new ones for display. Yeah, that's fair enough. I can see that. And I had that on the Necron Warriors. The new ones just look so much better. Yeah, I mean, I think that's quite a typical thing for Games Workshop models. Typically, I mean, it's not the case with all of them, because there are some classic sculpts obviously out there, but mainly a lot of their new ones do tend to outshine the old range quite a bit. And I think, like I said, having them mix and match on the same table can probably make you look at it and go, oh dear, no, can't have that, and then consign them to the history books. Um, but so some people really like the old sculpts, but me personally, I would definitely stick with the new ones now. And I've got an unmade sister set up there, which I'll keep for kind of nostalgia. Might get them out and paint them one day. I'd also buy the other army ideas I'd come up with for this crusade. Ah, okay, Lee, yes, because of course you're doing Nurgle at the moment, but obviously I'm sure you had some other backup plans if in case you didn't get that one. So yeah, that's fair enough. Um, Sounds good. And also, buying more time to paint and to do things with the hobby is another important one. If only time was for sale. Well, I suppose time is for sale if you have more money. That's always the way, is it, though? More money means more time sometimes. And also like opening your own gaming center or something. See, I'd love to do that if I had the cash for it. That would be one of my favorite things to do. Very much like I think Mini Wargaming, obviously having just opened up their kind of gaming center thing with hotel add-on. I think that would be a pretty sweet idea. One of those things I've always kind of fancied having a crack at, but again, it's all about getting that money together. You never know. One day in 10 years' time, when the channel's got over 4 million subscribers, we'll see. Yeah, we'll settle for the events at the moment. I think me and Dom. I think a few more good solid events, and we'll be happy. It's just nice to see a bunch of people come in that we've met, and through the medium of this particular social media and video kind of type. It's I think meeting up with people is one of the most important things in this hobby at the moment, even though it's very difficult to do at the moment, sadly. Um, there's a few people in here that I would love to have had a game with in the last sort of 6 months or so. It just hasn't happened. I hope, obviously, I hope anyone who is in England at the moment, obviously not able to see anyone. I hope everyone is doing all right. So Christmas is coming up soon. I have to pick my one guard army unit for my tank army. 9th Russ. You can never have enough Russes, quite frankly. Well, allegedly. It's all about variants. You can have lots of Russes, but different variants. I think that's a good. I mean, my for my guard army, I've always tried to make it artillery based. So all of the ones I choose tend to be the weirder options that you can have on things. So, like for instance, the guard tanks. I'd even take the Nova cannon. Yeah, because that was a bit more interesting. I can see quite a few more people just joined as well. So welcome. I saw the viewer count jump up a little bit there. Thanks for popping on. For those who have just joined us, it is myself on my own at the moment because Dom is not available this evening. And I might just whack in another quick Discord chat for anyone who has still not joined our Discord. Please do, because we're trying to get a few people together in there. And we've got a little painting competition going on at the moment, which Dom set up last week, which I'm looking forward to judging. So I think that is next week, actually, if I remember correctly. So it'll be interesting to see what all you guys come up with. I've always seen some pretty good stuff in there, some interesting ideas and concepts. So I won't give any favourites away yet. So I want to be fair, which I want to think I'm sort of picking favourites just yet. But there's some pretty good stuff in there. You can submit whatever you want. I think that was the rules from what Dom told me. Is anything? Oh, you want to put an alt? No. It has to be painted in these 2 weeks. I think that was kind of the idea, Daryl. That's cheating. I think that was the idea. I will check with Dom, but I'm pretty sure. Besides, if he does turn around and say that was actually the purpose, obviously there's still time for you to technically submit that, so I don't think that's a problem from that point of view. If it suddenly turns around and says no, that's okay, but I'm pretty sure it was newly painted stuff in these 2 weeks, because I think that was the idea, was to get some new stuff out. I wasn't allowed to enter, sadly. I was gonna paint my weird boy up, but I'll probably do that anyway. Don't worry. I might get round to doing it after I finish these damn trucks. I can't believe how long these are taking me. These are taking me almost 3 weeks, as I'm normally so quick at doing things, but these are really just not really interested me to do it. They test the paint to make sure it's no more than 2 weeks old. I'm going to. Yep, you're right, Adam. That is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to insist everyone sends their models in for a £20 shipping fee, which you'll get back. And we'll make sure that the paint age is definitely under the 2 weeks. Ooh, hello. Right. Oh, bloody orcs and so many things in orcs. Yeah, I've also got a video coming out tomorrow as well. One of my weekdays of Wargaming, which has been, again, a bit too long since the last one. I'm really going to try and behave myself and actually get one out a week now, which I'm going to try and do on Wednesdays if I can. And this is basically going to show you all the orc stuff I've been doing recently, but also I had some Grey Knight bits I hadn't put on last video. I also had a Nexus I've painted, and a few other bits and pieces I was going to whack into a video, and then basically the idea was to then do these completed trucks for next week's one, because I've got to finish them. I have to finish them. But as with all model ranges, there's always some models that you kind of get started on, you look with the best intentions, and you're like, I'm going to get this one done. Yes, it's going to look great, and I'm going to really finish it. And then you get a week into it, and you realise actually you're not really enjoying painting it that much. That's kind of how I feel with these trucks at the moment. I'm not quite sure why. I don't think they're terrible models. I just think it's it's not something I really want to paint at the moment. But I'm forcing myself to finish it because that's the kind of headspace I'm in with my painting at the moment, is to try and finish stuff that I actually own. because I just need to do that. The master, yeah, well, master, there you go, Mr. Blue, master of possession. I'm sure everyone's got some models out there that they go, oh, do I have to paint it? And then you look at it and go, I've got to really paint it. I've had it for too long. I mean, it's like that Hunter. I finished the Hunter at last. And actually, I don't think I've done a video on that. I'll have to put that in there as well because I finished the Hunter. Um, and yeah, I've had that for years. I had that when I was living at my dad's. That Don bought that move many many years ago, and I felt it was actually to start with. It was kind of like Lee, every model. But Lee, Mr. Lee, you are putting a lot more paint down that you have done in many, many years, I believe, at the moment, which is really cool. And I'm enjoying seeing your progress, mate. So don't give up and keep it up. Um, Obviously, your plague bearers are coming out very nice, in my opinion. So just keep up the good work and don't stop. Would you say one chaplain, 5 Marines, and a Devastator squad sound like a good start to a Black Templars patrol? Um, yes, that's not bad. Um, but obviously make the tactical marines, make sure they are crusaders and they have chainswords because that's fun. I can agree with that. You've got to get in the mood to paint. But yeah, Black Templars. I mean, obviously everyone goes on about Black Templars and how they like close combat and stuff. Yes, they do, but they are known for using the old bolters still. So I mean, it doesn't. Half an hour a day has helped. Yes, I wish I had been doing half an hour a day. I probably would have had these done by now, but I had definitely not been doing half an hour a day. I have been doing other things, but also just not quite sat down and done things every day that I should do. So that's one reason I really quite like the Tuesdays because I sit here for hour and a half, whatever, and paint with you guys, and hopefully, as everyone else here probably knows, that it kind of helps people just to zone in on painting for a certain amount of time in their life because you don't always have the time, and that's just the way it is. Um, and then basically what you're hoping for is for you to catch that bug and to want to paint quite a bit for a longer period of time. And yeah, that comes and goes. Especially for me, I'm very much like that. There'll be times where I can't put a paintbrush down. I'll literally block anything else out. I'll block all the social stuff going on, and I'll just sit here and I'll paint. Then I'll hit a little wall, and I'll be like, I'll come back to it in a couple of weeks' time. And but the thing is, because normally when I come off a glut of painting, I've done quite a bit. I don't feel too bad about it. Um, but then as I said, with all things, there's also models that just put like a mental block, and getting to the point of going, oh, I've got to get past this. Actually, paint them is the difficult one. Pretty sure I have 2 squads of rocket launchers. To be fair, they originally were salamanders before changed over. I said at the end of the day, Templars do need heavy support as well. That's what people kind of forget. They're not all about, they're not always about. I mean, I love assault marines and assault intercessors and all this kind of stuff because that's why I build them that way. And Miss Lee says these streams are definitely good for my hobby. That is good. I'm glad to help. I'll make one model and go right. I'm done for this month. Like I said, I think it does depend. As I said, some people paint and fits best. Some people can get a real steady stream going, but ultimately for me, it is definitely about fits and bursts. But the thing is, my fits and bursts are normally quite long, so I'll crack out loads of models over the period of like a month, and then I'll stop for maybe half a month, and then go back to it again. And I'm okay with that now. I think I used to get kind of a bit disheartened by it because I think, I'm not doing anything. But then I look at the stuff I have done, and actually, it kind of you just keep as long as you keep coming back to it. That's the main thing. So, and ultimately, that's why all you guys are here because you love the hobby. So that's one of the positive things you take out of it is that you can come back to it any time. The other thing people may or may not realise is that I find this hobby quite kind on age ranges that do it. I remember kind of scoffing at the hobby, this hobby when I was quite a bit younger, and then sort of dropping it for a bit and then coming back again. And now I think it's one of the best things I do on a daily, what I can do on a daily basis if possible, because I find it incredibly relaxing a lot of the time. I've sold off my wolves, but keep the. Well, that's fair enough. It's all right. everyone needs a new project now and then, Steaker. That's all right, as long as you're happy with your choices. I mean, personally, I very rarely sell models myself. I find it very difficult to part with them. Um, yeah, I mean, it does mean I end up with a lot of stuff knocking about, which is can be a shame. But it, but also I feel like I regret things less if I get rid of something that I was like feeling like a bit down. I said exceptions are the Eldar Force. But that's mainly because I just really didn't like playing it at all, and I had no intention of recollecting it. So that I felt kind of safe on that one. Um, and I've bought, there's people in this chat I've bought models off quite a bit. Gavin, one of them, I've bought. I think my Orcs and some of I think we had some of your Tau as well, didn't we? I'm pretty sure. But they're still going. They're still here somewhere. I mean, Tau is really on the back burner at the moment, mainly because me and Vicky really haven't got the energy or the want to paint it at the moment. I'm sure eventually one day we'll get round to it. But yeah, and so now I'm here just churning through trucks, which I will finish. I am going to finish these this week. I swear. I'm not going to do another week of these. I think I'm actually reasonably looking forward to doing the battle wagon in a minute, just for a change of size and unit type. So it was Dark Elder. That was it. Yes, and I never did anything with the Dark Elder, and then I think again back sold back to Daryl. I think, or yourself. I can't remember. Too many years of stuff. Have I got any of the new buggies, Lee? No. I would actually quite like some of the new buggies though. I feel I would like to. Azrael hadn't painted an army properly for about 15 years during a lockdown. I needed something to take away from the P screen. 3 to 4 evenings a week for a couple of hours. Yep, I agree. But also, Lee, yes, I will definitely be checking out some of the buggies at some point. Because I kind of dismissed them when they first came out a little bit, but I think they'll be quite a nice addition to my force now. Because that's one thing my force is lacking. I've got quite a lot of stuff on foot, and a bit of speed would be good. Yeah, I know. I've still got more to buy for you, Dale, and I'd need to get them as well because you got some of the stuff that I need to actually get for my scorpions. So that's more money up though. Yes, but also as the fellows say, 15 years. I mean, that's pretty. That sounds roughly, possibly like what I did. Because I remember, especially, I mean, I know Lee, Daryl, and Gavin all in real life, and Dave as well. Um, and Lee especially, who probably one of the first people I ended up getting into the hobby with, along with Dom. Um, you know, we played Floorhammer and stuff like that back in the day, and I remember after a bit of doing that, I kind of gave it up for a bit and then came back to it again. So the Scrapjet is my favourite new buggies. Okay, is it? The Scorpions rule suggested in the Forge World book. Well, I don't really like Ultramarines myself. I mean, obviously, if it was a rule where they said you had to do it, I would say fair enough. Yes. I mean, actually, I suppose from my point of view, I don't really mind. I suppose I could play them as Ultramarines, or the rules at least. All that means I'll have to do is put more apothecaries in my army, because that's kind of that's what I'm going to end up doing anyway. Um, but yeah, I'm not. The thing is, obviously their previous rules were basically a feel no pain, and you could, if you upgrade, the sergeant could be upgraded to an apothecary and like as a sergeant. Um, and that was, I liked those rules. That was good. And so obviously when you played them to try and mimic that, you always took Iron Hand rules because they were the most nearest match to that. But actually, when you look at the kind of, what the Red Scorpions are, they're all about purity and they do follow the Codex a lot. So actually, I suppose from a certain point of view, Ultramarines is a reasonable fit as well. But you have to then augment in the apothecary stuff a little bit more uh, with using their apothecary models, which is basically what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to basically repaint my sergeants. Well, I'm not going to repaint my sergeant. I'm going to build new sergeants for my Space Marine squads and make them into essentially normal sergeant, and then I'm going to basically use the apothecary models I painted as actual apothecaries. So, and then and obviously they're actually not too bad in this edition, so I'm not too fussed about that, I suppose. But yes, Mr. I'm hoping I need to get a game in with them at some point. It's been a long time. Actually, maybe I'll use them this week instead of Black Templars. Maybe I'll use the Red Scorpions instead. That might be a good shout. I haven't had old Mr. Cullen the Risen out for a while. We shall see. We shall see. I said I'm hoping to have it's about 6 games in this campaign. I'm hoping that's the idea anyway. But we shall see how time goes. I think this is about ready for some dry brushing in a minute. This is going to be interesting. I'm trying to remember if yes, I did wash it. I definitely washed it. It's hard to tell sometimes. Get the old non-oil out again. Although I need the non-gloss, please. There we are. Oh, what am I painting right now? Space Marine? I am doing Orc Trucks though, sorry. There we go. So I should have said to anyone who just joined, this is currently what I'm working on this evening. I'm finishing off these 2 Orc Trucks. A bit more of a better view, you can see how I'm getting along with them as well. A lot of metal work on these bad boys. I think they're starting to turn out the way I want them to, which is just looking like hunks of scrap on wheels. Purge it with holy fire. Cheers, man. If it looks heretical, I'm probably doing the right thing, I suppose. Well, at least it looks Xenos, I suppose, is probably the better term. Yes, but yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment, and I'm just trying to plough through these guys so I can move on to the battle wagon next. So, and now I've got to wash this entire flatbed, which is actually quite a lot of paint. But yeah, I'm looking for with regards to like more. I'm looking forward to getting some more vehicles, and sort of just padding out my army a bit more because I haven't really had I haven't really bought a lot of tracked vehicles for my orcs yet. Got a lot of bikes, but yes, I think some of the scrap jets and stuff like that, and the boom buster buggy and all that business, I'm going to give them a go, see how they get on. Should be a bit of a laugh as well. I do like the orc vehicles just for their sheer insanity. But yeah, I remember my first 40k army was I think it was actually an Imperial Guard tankish army, which I then switched to Sister Battle a long time ago before I got rid of them. So I do miss that kind of mechanised force. Sometimes I've always kind of leaned on that until my Templars came along. Then it turned into more of a let's see how many people we can get on foot walking towards the enemy very slowly and dying in droves, which is normally what happened, especially in some of the editions of 40k, which where shooting was much more. Well, actually, I suppose it still was fairly prevalent nowadays. But it used to be very painful, especially when AP was completely negated and you didn't get saves. I mean, those days were very interesting for anyone who played any kind of army with a 3-up save. Any AP3 weapons used to be quite devastating. So, but it's all changed a lot now. I mean, I can barely recognise the game from a few years ago because it's changed dramatically. Right, starting to get there a bit now. Which is easy to paint vehicles and characters? That's an interesting question. I think if you're painting a character you actually really like, I think that's easier. I think vehicles, if you're just painting something to do something reasonably quick, I think depending on the vehicle, it can be easier. I mean, I find like Space Marine vehicles very easy to paint because the angles are all very clear and very sort of lined out. I mean, if you take an Orc vehicle as a comparison, this is not as easy to paint because there's a lot of bits and pieces that you need to kind of pay attention to, because obviously if you take the same method of a Space Marine Rhino, for instance, to this transport, it wouldn't look right. I mean, it might look quite cool, but I think it would look too plain. Whereas I think Space Marine vehicles look quite cool if they're reasonably simply painted. I wouldn't say super simple painted, but I think they actually look quite cool from the fact that if you get the lines right and you get the stuff, I think they look quite nice. And the panels are nice and well done and things like that. And if you get your iconography right on them, I think it looks quite cool. Um, but you know, it's very different things. I mean, I could say that an orc vehicle has a lot of character to it, which kind of makes it into a character itself in some ways. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, I know, but I hope people understand what I'm saying. uh, maybe I have to pick up Gazgul one day and paint him as one of my custom war bosses or something. That would be quite fun. Tends to run Goths anyway, so it's not a super hardship for me. Goths or Bad Moons for me has always been the choice of my orcs. Oh dear. As you can tell, I think my voice is starting to go, but I'm going to hang on for a little bit. I'm going to try and do another 15 minutes, guys, but I might have to stop in a bit. Just giving you some pre-warning. So apologies for the slightly shorter stream. Being in the paint fumes, yeah. God, Jesus. At least it's not. I suppose at least it's not super glue. I mean, that's not good. Oh, that's better. But ultimately, the other thing I'm quite looking forward to is possibly taking a look at all of these really cool paint jobs next week. Um, so I hope you guys keep up with all of them, so we can actually have a look and see who's come up with some really cool designs. I'm gonna have a quick look on Discord now actually because I don't know if anyone's put anything in there um, tonight. I've got someone in the waiting room. Patch S, so I'll add you into the members lounge along with as a fail as well. So I didn't hear you ping in, but you are now, and Ezo as well. Perfect. 3 new people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I didn't see you pop in earlier. You should now all have member status, so you should be able to see the other parts of the Discord. There's another link there for anyone who does want to get involved. I'll just see if I think Dom did put something up about the painting challenge at the top of the painting challenge. Turns out, so yeah, it says so basically, if anyone who missed the challenge, here's the exact text. You will have 2 weeks to complete a model which will fall under the class of Wizard, Witch, Psyker, or Spellcaster. It does not have to be 40k or Games Workshop, but you do need to paint it yourself over the next 2 weeks. Remember, this is a little fun, and we should all help each other as you can. Myself and Tom will declare the winner of this round on the stream. So that's 2 weeks. So that was obviously last week. So that is next Tuesday. So make sure if you do want to do that, you get something painted by next Tuesday, and we can have and get it all posted in the Discord painting challenge section, and we can all have a little look at it, and hopefully we'll see some fantastic stuff. I mean, I have no doubt we will because normally do. A lot of you guys are very talented at painting, so it's good to see everyone's hard work sort of come to fruition over a kind of a sounds fun, but I'm really bad at painting. Well, Space basically the one thing I say about that, I think. I think saying if you're bad at painting, I think there's normally only one way to do it, and that is just to keep going at it and keep painting, regardless of how bad or good you think you are, um, just so that you can kind of improve, because that is the best way to improve in all seriousness, um, is to keep going at it. I mean, I can definitely say that I used to be pretty poor at painting models, but I think to begin with, that was probably more down to not necessarily skill, but maybe patience. I did feel I used to become very impatient with what I used to do, um, and maybe when I put some paint on a model, it didn't come out exactly how I wanted it. I got very frustrated. But I found that actually it's 2 things you need to do. Number one, you need to first of all accept that you ain't going to be a godlike painter the first time you pick up a brush. That's a very important one. And secondly, definitely just keep trying because that's the best way to improve it. But also, well, you're trying is don't put too much pressure on yourself to make it look amazing, because it'll never be as good in your eyes as anyone else's. Yeah, you see all of the flaws on your models before everyone else does. Even if maybe you've got really good painting, you know, you see everything in highlights on your own stuff. So um, fair enough. But again, that's the same thing. If you like your drawing better, go with that. That is awesome. If I could draw, I would. That's one thing I'd love to have been able to do, but I found that drawing never really melded me. So my medium is painting models. So that's kind of that's where I push my thing. It's as with anything, practice never makes perfect, really. Practice makes you get better. That's the best way to look at it. And I seem to be getting a lot of missed calls, which I'm going to have to go and tick up in a minute. But of course, if you've got anything that you do, outside of model painting, we're happy to see that in Discord as well. If you are in there, it's always good to see other drawings and stuff like that. Because we always like to see anything. I mean, we're not, although we're predominantly obviously 40k based. Yeah, I mean that's a given. But we know anything's cool. So, and Gavin is just saying, Daryl, we started when I was about 12 or 13 in secondary school, and we used to go to the Jade Martial Arts to buy our minis in Hastings. Whew, that sounds like a while ago. Is that place still going? I'm going to presume maybe not. Don't know if Jade Martial Arts is still there. Is it still there? Yes, you'll definitely see mistakes here. But yeah, I see. When I go back and look at stuff on my shelf over there I painted a few months ago, I'll just see it in like, oh, what did I do? And then you've got to go back and you either accept it or you go back and fix it. And yeah, I did that with my basing for my Templars. I looked at all of them, went, they're all awful, and they're all on 25 mil. So I ripped the whole lot off and put them all on 32 and redid the whole lot to a better standard. And it's amazing how things like that can make an army look better overall just by doing one basic thing across the board. Because I think group and consistency on armies for 40k for tabletop, in my opinion, look much better than maybe just having that one really cool looking centerpiece, which is obviously great. But I think if you, as a whole, if you have a really good looking, good standard paint job, I think you can sort of and it's why Daryl will not get the colourblind glasses. Ah, Mr. Masufian, I will just allow you in, my friend. 1 second. I was in your AM radio, so I will add you to the members screen. There we go, mate. You are now in as well. Welcome. I'm afraid, guys, I'm going to have to concede defeat because I'm having trouble speaking. So I do apologise, but I'm going to have to knock the stream on the head. My throat has gone to the point where it is too dry to talk, and I don't want to ruin my voice for work tomorrow. So I'm going to say thank you all very much for joining me tonight on my solo stream. And hopefully next week myself and Dom will both be back. To judge all of the wonderful paintworks that you guys have done over the week. So I will catch you all then. And until then, so this is Tom from Blacktoe Studio. Thank you all, and I will see you all soon.